Here's another real garden video. You can tell it's real because there's all kinds of work being done. Stare back here. Woohoo! If you saw this video, maybe, what was it, about a month ago? You've probably now seen some changes. So I got my herb spiral done, and the water fountain's attracting a ton of butterflies, and I got that thing on Amazon, of course. Not the big bowl. My sister, when she moved a long time ago, left that here with me. So yeah, Judy, you can have it back whenever you want. So what's new? Everything's gotten bigger. I don't recommend planting those really big sunflowers. Lily, get out of there. Get out. Get. Okay. I think the fence back there is 5 or 6 feet tall. So these guys right here, that finally you can tell one of them's blooming right there, are like 12 feet tall. That one is. And even my tomato plants are tall, but not even near that tall. So I've got some red curry there. I've got a leek. This is my yellow pear tomato that I went ahead and I let some of the, what I call them, the armpit shoots. I let some of those come out. I've got my butternut squash is now doing fine because it's super hot. We're going to have heat probably for quite a while now, through till late October, maybe even. That cantaloupe, I could have sworn I saw a little cantaloupe on it recently, so I'll see if I can show that to you in a minute if I can find it. This is my espaliered apple tree, and then I went ahead and espaliered my this tomato. So that's the heirloom variety. It's an orange tomato, and I went ahead and wired it out and let it get some arms on it, and I have had to like tie this guy up because it's pretty heavy fruit. You can see those ones too. And then my red curry is coming around on this other apple tree, and it's kind of hooking in there, as well as the cattle panel behind. And don't tell me, I can't even begin to tell you how it is that I've got a squash and a watermelon so close together here, other than I didn't think this watermelon was going to make it. And it's climbing up. You can see it's doing great. That's the variety of apple tree I have here. So that's a Granny Smith on this side, and it's a Fuji on that I showed you just a minute ago on the other side of this tomato plant. So I don't know if you can see, if I get down there, you can see at least one of those pie pumpkins is doing good. There's another one growing along the fence on the back side there. And I just really wanted to show you that little tiny, yeah, so maybe in another video. I don't see it right now. But I've got some guys coming in there. Let's see. My strawberry patch here, of course, I use a lot of companion planting, but I have a squash in there. I'll do the strawberries definitely different next time. I'm not sure exactly how, but I've got the borage and I've got the beans, and that's all trying to help provide a better habitat for the strawberries to grow. And I'm getting very little strawberries, but I'm getting a lot of butterflies nowadays. So I always love deadheading these, and I've got a whole bowl full of these dried up and saved. It's with my cucumbers hidden back in there. Sweet peas. Just hanging out and enjoying the life. And then this is the Three Sisters right here. So if I get corn, it'll be the first time in my life I've ever grown corn. But I've got the squash and the beans and the corn. So you can see I've got some beans that'll probably need to be picked. The trick about corn is it pollinates by the wind blowing and these guys getting on each other. That's why you never want to plant more than one type of corn together unless you want to try to crossbreed them, I guess. But I come out and I beat the corn. This is Tomato Alley back here, and as you can see, I'm holding this up as tall as I can, and the tip of that plant is higher than my arm will reach. Yeah, these guys are actually, they get, well, I can show you later, but they almost get like a blackish red. So it's black cherry, obviously. That's probably a good name for it. And then I have a lemon boy in here as well. And big boy. We'll see how that goes. These are all heirlooms. I've got this beauty. Oops. No, not a beauty. A bug's got to that guy. I don't know if you can see that. It would have been a beauty. Yeah, something had its way there. And I'll come back with some scissors and cut it because it's not going to break easily. And the Cherokee Purple is here. You can see those guys there. But yeah, lots and lots of tomatoes coming in. And my lemon tree, if you can see the little lemon on it there. And the leaves were getting a little yellow. I think it was probably not getting enough water. I wound up running a drip line into my compost because it also was not getting enough water. And we've been getting, I don't know, it's just the early part of July and we're getting 93. We're at 93, something like that today. Yeah, I've got some more wax beans coming in, the yellow ones here. I have a huge bag of these already inside the house in the freezer. I just spread them out thinly on a baking sheet, freeze a little baking sheet full of them. And then, you know, dump them in my bag because the more you pick these guys, the more they grow. So don't just try to wait to pick them when you have, you know, when you think you have a bunch of them to freeze up. So as they're coming in, yeah, just get your handfuls of them. It smells really good. I guess the basil's right there. So we've got 2 different kinds of basil in here and some more squash. And then the things that I like to use in salads, like flowers and the Bright Light Swiss chard. I cut this up like celery and put it in salad. It's awesome. And it's really good for you. And then I have, I'm doing the square foot gardening method. That's why you can see all my stuff is really tightly packed. But my pansies I planted last fall and, you know, they're hanging in there. My elephant garlic is going to be ready to come up out of the ground pretty soon. And the way I know that is because these long leaves right here, they almost look like a bulb. You know, the leaves from a tulip or something like that. These are brown, so that means it's getting ready. It's going to come up soon. And I got some other great things in here. Some celery, which didn't turn out well, but I let it go to bloom just to keep attracting pollinators. And then my kale is just about done. And there's some white butterflies right there. I don't know if you got that in the screen. But they like those flowers. So I've got some more red curry coming up here. As you can tell, I'm a big red curry fan. It's really my favorite winter squash. And then this guy I put on net. It's the first one that started. And, you know, you can see it compared to my hand. Let's see if I can get a good image of that. Yeah, so it's definitely bigger than my hand at this point. And, yeah, it's doing good. So this is the first time I've ever grown these, and they get to be about 15 to 18 inches long. These are the Scarlet Red Runner beans. They have these beautiful red flowers, which I know red's not necessarily the pollinating color for a yard, but the flowers are really pretty. The beans, however, as soon as they start dying out, which you can see some of these are beginning to die out, these vines, these will be harvested for dry beans. I'll put them in a jar. And then I have let's see, my green zebra over here. And I planted a Corsican and a birdhouse gourd in here. So we'll see. They are looking like maybe they're getting pollinated. I don't know if you can tell, but that looks like that one got pollinated. We'll see. We'll find out. The little round ones up there, and they come across. So there's some over here too. Yeah, and I had started watermelon by seed, and it just didn't seem like it was moving along fast enough, so I went and got a 6-pack. These are the, what do they call those little sugar babies? They're small watermelons. So you can see the little leaves right in here like that. So to hedge my bets, I put those in different areas of my garden. So I've got 2 here, one on the east and one on the west side of this arbor. And I've got a couple out of my other garden, and then one that we passed earlier. And then at the last minute, this one was a pretty much an afterthought. We always had this little wooden frame trying to pretend like it was hiding our messy sprinkler heads and all the back end stuff of the sprinklers. And so the soil, it's horrible. And I dug a hole and I threw in a couple of handfuls of better soil, and I planted that guy right there. And I don't know, I didn't even put water to it for the first month. I just was hand watering it to see if it was even going to make it there. Because I don't know if, would I have been okay with 6 watermelon plants? So I didn't really care if it made it or not at that point, but it's doing better than all my watermelon plants. So I guess that's the long story made short. And so I just keep tucking it up. And so since it was doing good, I gave it some real water and I hooked it up to the drip line there. And yeah, so that's it in a nutshell. It's going crazy. You coming over to say hi? Come on. Hey, Lily, come here. Say hi. Say hi. Oh, okay. All right.